Greetings and what up, though? It's your boy, Jason Jamerson, and welcome to the Jason Jamerson podcast. With me, as always, my man 100 gram, my cousin Kev BJ. What's going on, Kev?
What up, though, cuz? How you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. I'm living the dream over here, man.
Okay. What's the dream?
Not working at the moment. That's the dream. Just chilling. Literally chilling. I played two full games of Madden today with no interruptions.
Okay. That's like 5 hours.
Man, listen. Listen. That's the dream right there, man. I ain't had no problem. I had my clients, all of them showed up, you know what I'm saying? But I had an early day, so I was able to be done training people early. It was a beautiful day, man. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. How's your weekend, man?
My weekend was cool. It rained a lot. However, I was still able to play a little golf. I went to a wedding, which was dope. And then I was able to watch Kevin Hart's Fatherhood this weekend. And I don't know if you watched it, but I definitely can give you my thoughts and feelings on that as well.
I still have not watched that, but I see a lot of people say within the first 5 minutes it was crying.
Okay.
So
that was not.
So it took you 10 minutes. Nah, I'm gonna watch it eventually. I mean, like I said, like we talked about last week, my dad lived it, that story. So, I'm not in a rush to watch it.
That's fair.
Yeah. But like you said, it did rain a lot. It rained a whole lot. It's flooding in a lot of areas, man.
It's so wet in the D. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't know if you've seen, and I thought it was fake, but apparently it was real. People was jet skiing in Dearborn and on 75.
Okay. You got money to be able to just pull out the jet ski like that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. You just bring it out like that. Like, you ain't even got it docked nowhere. You got that boy in the garage. But yeah, nah, man. I'm just glad it didn't rain like they said it was going to, because they said from, was that Saturday when it was raining, or Friday? It was supposed to rain for like 10 days straight.
Yeah.
10 days straight it was supposed to rain. And, I guess God went in there and was like, hold on. Let's push the stop button on this rain real quick. I think somebody just fell asleep on the rain panel. Whoever was, the rain department in heaven, I think they fell asleep at the panel and just let too much come down on Detroit. So, I think that's what that was. But yeah, other than that, was that's all you did over the weekend? Watch Fatherhood and watch the rain?
I went to a wedding, so there was a lot of festivities, beverages. You can imagine how that went. So this is my back-to-back. It was the back-to-back weekend of weddings. I had one last week. So, throughout the week, you gotta work out, drink a lot of water, take care of yourself, because if you're engaging in all the wedding festivities, food, drink, stand up, kind of doing all that stuff, and otherwise it can definitely be taxing on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. For sure can. I wouldn't know nothing about that no time recently, because I have not been to any weddings, nor could I drink if I wanted to. Yeah. Over the weekend, I tried to get off my blood thinners on good behavior. Like, I literally sent my doctor an email and tried to let her, tell her, listen, can I just take another test or something? She was like, nah, fam. One more month.
Hey, man, roll it out, man. Health as well. Yep.
You right. But, man.
What did you do this weekend?
What did I do? I got abandoned yesterday, and I didn't know I was going to get abandoned. So that was kind of weird. You ever had the crib to yourself? Well, I don't know, how often sharing the crib with somebody has been I don't want to say a burden, but you ain't been able to do exactly what you wanted to do. But they basically, my family left. They said my wife was, I'm going to my mom's house for a minute. I'm like, all right, cool. I cleaned up a little bit, did some work. I was like, well, shoot, they still gone. I got time. This is like noon. I was like, I got time to play a game of Madden. So I played some Madden. Then I was like, all right, they should probably be coming home soon. So let me clean something else. Let me fold the clothes or something. Start doing that. I'm like, well, dang, where they at? So I text her like, hey, y'all good? She's like, oh yeah, we about to just look at some pictures from the cruise. They ain't come back till 9:45. I did not expect to have a whole work shift to myself at the crib. If so, I would have planned accordingly because they definitely left me with no food whatsoever. So all I had was ice cream sandwiches, and I didn't want to eat a bunch of them. So yeah, that was my Sunday, and like you said, it rained. So the majority of my weekend was making sure my clients were good, to see if they were going to be training this week or not. And I only had 2 clients whose cars got caught up in the rain. So yeah. Other than that, my weekend was good.
Hey man, did you see in Miami the building that collapsed? Did you hear about that?
I saw you sent me the article. I didn't get a chance to read it, but what exactly happened with that?
So basically, the building just imploded. It has some structural issues, which were assumed to be known by whoever's managing or owning the building within the time period. I read that recently one of the pool contractors was down there and kind of saw it as well. Took some pictures. Not sure if she or he or they socialized it, but it was definitely on notice. And then definitely hearing rumors of the insurance or some type of policy, people were notified as well. But in all, it collapsed. There are about 90 something people were missing initially. I'm not sure what the exact total is and total is, but part of that is due to the fact that cities like Miami, San Diego, and maybe a host of others are losing shoreline, and mostly due to what I believe is global warming, as the water is encroaching on the land. And so there's less and less land on those areas that are right there. And so definitely one of the impacts and effects of that.
Yeah, they keep getting hit by hurricanes and earthquakes and stuff. Of course, something it ain't gonna last forever. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing about Michigan that I hate the winters, but we don't get too many natural disasters.
Well, a snowstorm is a natural disaster.
It is, but it ain't like a hurricane. All we got to do is turn our heat up for a snowstorm. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I actually read somewhere though that they said that the Great Lakes are such a big body of water that they possibly could carry a hurricane onto land.
Yeah,
in Michigan. So yeah, let's pray that day never happens. But just know that it's something that is possible. But yeah, man. Yeah, you watching the NBA over the weekend?
I tried to watch as much as I could due to some of the wedding type festivities. I was pretty limited, but I was able to see the game last night. One of the games, I think Friday night, Milwaukee blew out
Atlanta.
So that wasn't too big of a thing. Once I saw they were up 30, I was good. And then I was able to see the Clippers play the other night. Just a little bit of it, the teams that are in the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals are not teams I would have predicted to be in there together. Maybe some of the teams individually, but
not at all.
The tie is very interesting. I think it makes it fun as well, and interesting as well to kind of see and have that. It gives a lot of newer, younger superstars are getting that stage. Some of my friends, my girl, they all think it's rigged, like NBA is rigged, and so.
Rigged for who though?
Yeah.
Rigged for who? All the American sweethearts is out the playoffs.
Well, most people go in, they can walk into a bar, into someone's home or whatever, and they see like the game is close. And so people are always like, hey, another close NBA game. This feels like a setup because a close game is usually one that gets the most views. Like I said, the one game where they up 30, I didn't tune in or feel the need to tune in because it wasn't anything entertaining. And so, I'm usually a little cynical and skeptical of certain things. And maybe I have a bias because I love basketball, I love the NBA and all those type of things. So I can't necessarily think objectively about it. But I don't think they're rigged, at least in that control way. I think there's some other things that do get rigged with the media and things like that, if you want to call that rigged. But not necessarily the exact gameplay. I don't think refs are controlling outcomes in that way. at a group effort. Now I do know there have some bad apples in there who've been betting or kind of doing other things, and so, but no, I don't think that.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's rigged. I think Atlanta is just playing their behinds off to get to where they at right now. Like you said, the media. I don't think rigged is the word as far as the media goes. I think more so they try to create a narrative or a story to make it interesting. Because like on paper, Atlanta should get blown out every game. So it's like they gotta make it interesting before they actually play a game. You know, to actually make it be like, all right, it's gonna be a game, y'all. Just in case it does get blown, they do get blown out. Because nobody gonna watch a game if they know it's gonna be a blowout, unless you're a fan of the team blowing the other team out. But yeah, I think at the beginning of the playoffs, I think I didn't have either of the East teams in there, but I may have had I didn't want to put the Clippers in there. I may have put the Suns up there just because I wanted Chris Paul to get his ring. But yeah, this is not at all a finals or NBA thing that I would have predicted. But yeah. No, I don't really like. I usually watch the playoffs. I ain't watched a single game all the way through yet, not one. But one thing I wanted to talk about though is this. You was about to say something else about the playoffs?
I was gonna say. Speaking of the NBA, the Pistons got the number 1 pick in the draft. I didn't know
they did. They did, and I have no idea who is coming out out of college. Are there any difference makers even coming out to make it worth paying attention to?
So I think that the Pistons. I mean, most people kind of have I think most people think that the Pistons are going to pick one of a few players. I believe the gentleman's name is. I
keep hearing Cade Cunningham. I have no idea who he is.
Cade Cunningham. Thank you very much, Cade Cunningham. I personally haven't kept up with Cade Cunningham. Don't know anything about his background, his gameplay. It'll be something that maybe I do over the next few weeks. Just kind of check it out. He's seeing players, but you know, I also would say the Pistons don't do a A+ job at picks either in the draft. They've gotten better over the years. But you know, often players that we draft and pick don't stay too long anyway. So I'm really thinking about transferable value. Like, how do we get that and build up? We played the game, we sank the ship, and now it's time to rise to the top like everyone else has done, or many others. And so it's not my favorite way of playing the game or watching the game and kind of seeing the building blocks go. But I know it's now a part of it, and I benefited from it now. So maybe I have different points of view based on the outcome.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No. I think they'll get it right this time. Joe Dumars was the one who was doing it all bad. Joe Dumars and Van Gundy, because Van Gundy was them two was the two that was messing stuff up. This dude, I think this dude's got some things up his sleeve. I think they're gonna have a quick turnaround. Honestly, the way that all these other teams just picking the best athlete and just winning or just balling out like that. Like the East, the last 2 years have had 2 teams in the Eastern Conference Finals that nobody expected to be there. Like last year, the pandemic season was the Heat, and then this year is the Hawks. It's like ain't nobody expect either one of them teams to be where they were at that time. So
yeah. I wanted to also ask you. So the Olympics. You're talking about the pandemic year. Olympics was postponed from last year in Tokyo. It'll be taking place this year. Right now, I think most Olympic sports, particularly Olympic sports, kind of like the noble ones, are undergoing Olympic trials right now. So if you're able to tune in on your internet or kind of watch on the stuff, you get to see a lot of people in gymnastics, rowing, track and field. I think there's some kind of like dance and stuff like that. So I've been watching a little bit of that, kind of getting
on the breakdancing. They show breakdancing. Hey, Japan's gonna win that breakdancing. I guarantee you, Japan is gonna win.
I don't know much about the breakdancing, but you know what? There are some new sports within the Olympics that kind of float in and out year to year that I'm always like, I did not know this was a sport, and like, is this a sport? I'm always kind of having that question mark. But hey, if it exerts energy, if you can kind of score against it, it's sporty. Right.
Yeah, no, the Olympics is gonna be interesting because they still trying to water down Simone Biles scores, because I know she's doing all this amazing stuff that nobody on the planet but her can do. And like I heard they said they were gonna like start scoring her stuff to try to make it fair. Like, nah, just become better athletes. Like, if she the only one who can do it, she the only one who can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely. She set the tone, and it's definitely a disadvantage you're taking. I'm definitely not for that at all. It should be evenly scored across.
Yeah, her, and then what's her name that everybody been talking about in the in track, with the orange hair, everybody been talking about her. What's her name? Is it Sha'Carri? Sha'Carri? I don't know how to pronounce it. I never heard nobody say it out loud, but I think it's Sha'Carri Richardson.
Sha'Carri Richardson. Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah, so that was a huge topic on my Facebook feed over the last week. Because
what was the topic exactly?
So the topic was two topics actually. One was, is that what we want America to be represented by? Which obviously you could tell you can tell who right now. Okay. So there was that, and then the other one was how a lot of these women in track and field, or just like a lot of these athletes now, athletic women, a lot of dudes are saying they look too masculine, and I'm like, so my first thing I noticed was they keep posting pictures of them in the middle of them doing something active, where all of their muscles are being like exposed, like mid stride or something like that. So yeah, if you were in the middle of a jump or middle running, you're gonna have a bunch of muscles being exposed too. But I never thought that there was a such thing. Well, I mean, except for the ones that are bodybuilder type. That's a different story, but that's by design. You know what I'm saying? But track bodies are the best ones to me.
Yeah, man. Like, whoever these people are that are saying that, to heck with them. You know what I'm saying? Sha'Carri is embodying the eliteness of an athlete, particularly one that went to LSU, which is like one of the number one schools for track and field, especially in the sprints, and she's doing that and embodying it. She's been decent from day one, from middle school to high school till now. I love the way she's being authentic with herself and bringing it through. And if you know anything about track and field or LSU, I mean, they've all been authentic and doing it their own ways, and that's what she's doing. And so, like, I think she's just sending a message like, yo, you can be you and be successful and kind of doing those things. You ain't got to play those labels, do all those things. And I definitely agree with you, Jason. The track bodies are beautiful bodies as well. It's definitely an all-around kind of sport where pretty balanced sport. I know we talked about last time, like what sports are kind of like most transferable. I threw out track and field for a multitude of reasons. And so I'll be rooting for Sha'Carri in the Olympics this year. I'll be supporting. Maybe I'll wear some orange or something like that, but she's gonna do her thing. And then on and off. I don't know what her endeavors are outside off the track. But she's a beautiful person. Seems very intelligent as well, and so I know she'll have success off the field as well.
Yeah. And going back to talking about track bodies, it really had me thinking how I was talking to one of my friends, and they were saying like they were just looking at a woman's body. Because I've been in fitness for so long, it takes a lot to impress me these days. Like a fat booty is exactly that to me at this point. Like it is a fat booty. Like there's the body fat percentage is up there. And to me, I'm not impressed by that. You know what I'm saying? So like the ones that take a lot of work, like the track bodies, I'm like, gee, willikers. Did you see those abs? Like I can't. I don't even got abs like that. So I'm over here like, shoot. She's more disciplined than I am because I like ice cream too much.
Doing Olympic lifts, more cleans than squats, using a lot of band work, doing circuit work, all those different things. The endurance kind of within that, man.
Yeah,
that's elite. And I think I definitely want to take a gauge and look at the people saying these things. Just in their best fitness. You know what I'm saying? I just want to.
Yeah, right. And then just from a fitness standpoint, also like track bodies are like the way you prepare for track is probably the most. And once again, this comes from a fitness standpoint. That's the most injury preventative working out you can do. There's so much you have in order to like run the way you run in track and field. The exercises you have to do are all the ones that are basically putting your body in the best condition to not get injured. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, if somebody hurt themselves running track, it's a freak accident. Like, hamstrings just snap or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But like all the muscles that it takes to be strong, and I ain't here to preach the science of the human anatomy today, but all the muscles it takes for you to have to succeed in track, like strong hamstrings, glutes, core, whatnot. All of those are like the more preventative muscles, the preventative muscle groups to keep you from hurting yourself, injuring your knees, back, anything like that. So, if I had the discipline, I too. And if my feet weren't flat, I probably would be out there, doing trying to get into track shape, but not so much. Thanks a lot, Dad, for these flat feet. I meant to tell him that last week. But yeah. So moving from the Olympics to a little bit of entertainment. The Bbt Awards were yesterday. I saw a few. I didn't watch the award show. I watched a few highlights on YouTube. 2 things that stuck out to me the most. I mean, there's a few different things. I know people were giving Lil Nas X some backlash, but at this point, he's just doing stuff to get people mad at this point. Like I feel like he knows there's a certain demographic that's going to get upset whenever he does anything. So at this point, I'm not even going to give the energy to talk about that one because that's exactly what he wants. But Cardi B,
I think he's just being himself, bro. I think he's just being himself and showing up as himself.
And that could be being himself. Himself could be just irritating people. Because like he even said it at some point. He basically said in more or less words, he's going to keep doing this to upset people until they stop caring. I don't care personally. I wasn't upset. It was just, his over the topness to get people to get upset. Sometimes that's just how people are. Some people are just like that. So it could be a mixture of both. He being himself and being himself, he's just trying to get people upset. I don't know him personally. So I don't know if he had a lot of friends growing up or if he was the irritating friend. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had that one friend that's just like, oh yeah, he coming? All right, I guess. You know what I'm saying? That's why Devontae ain't here no more. But I'm gonna keep talking about him until he get back on the show. Shout out to Devontae, man.
Last week, he didn't even show up.
Right. Nah. But Cardi B is pregnant again. She's pregnant again, fresh off less than a year after they were about to be divorced. They decided apparently to make up in the most ultimate way. Shout out to them. I mean, that's a personal business. I want to get to the 2 parts that those are just things that I know people want to hear. But the things that I enjoyed the most from watching the highlights was that Dmx Tribute had what's his face? The Method Man, Busta Rhymes, The Lox, the Griselda Boys, Swizz Beats, and then my man Omar from The Wire came out dressed up like DMX and doing his best DMX impression. That was straight. But what stole the show for me was that Silk Sonic performance. That leaves the door open. So here's the thing with that. They performed that song on 3 different award shows now, and they performed it 3 different ways. I've yet to see, like, whenever I typically see somebody perform a song, they always just like, all right, this is how they perform it. Get ready for this part. Get ready for this part. Or they're going to do this little dance part, this dance number. And they continuously are changing the way they perform that song. Even from the way they sing it, like towards the end, how they like change it up at the end. they just continuously are changing. I shout out to Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars, and them for that, because that song is still in heavy rotation on my playlist.
Okay. I wasn't able to see the BET Awards. I definitely saw some recaps. And it looked like, they had more viewership. I definitely saw a lot of activity online. So it looked like they had more viewership than kind of previous things. I think definitely the COVID impact is happening where things like this are getting views again, because I feel like a few years ago, people weren't watching none of that type of stuff. So it's definitely a little bit different. I think it's also more engaging online as well. Their connectivity to the different platforms has improved. And so, good to see BET still doing this thing and keeping people engaged. As I spend a lot of, that's where primarily a lot of us spend our time being entertained.
Man, I can't tell you the last time I watched a full award show though. I have not watched an award show. I don't even think that wasn't even an award show. That was like the Michael Jackson tribute show or something like that. And he was on it. So that shows how long ago that was. So yeah, that was that one show where it was like everybody was on there, like Usher and Beyond, Destiny's Child was on there, and he came out at the end. He did some Jackson 5 songs or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I don't really do award shows like that. I watch the performances if I know somebody's performing, but I care less about who about to win that award. You know what I'm saying? So, man, what good is that doing? They don't never give it to the right person anyway, in my opinion. So there's a few people. Yeah, that's rigged. Did you know? And I just realized this. Did you know that Snoop Dogg has never won a Grammy?
Number one, no, I did not know that. But number two, I would ask you, what should Snoop Dogg have won a Grammy for?
Probably a best hip hop album at some point. He has like 1 million albums out.
I love Snoop Dogg. He cool. You know what I'm saying? Generally loved and liked person. But I don't think the album quality across the board is, from at least the ones that I've heard, aren't there across the board now. He has some hits and some jams. Are there some Snoop Dogg ones that I mess with? Absolutely. But, my personal opinion there, he's there in the singles and jingles.
Well, first of all, you got Real Robotic and started breaking up. But I made out the majority of what you said. I would say Doggy Style probably could have been. I don't even know if Grammys were they had a rap Grammy at that moment when Doggy Style came out. But The Last Meal probably could have won one. And also I want to say Rhythm and Gangster probably could have won one. I'm not 100% sure what else was out around that time. But the album that had the S and double OPDO double Z, like that album, that had a lot of songs. Like that had Lay Low, it had Wrong Idea. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea about me. I have no idea if even not. You said what?
Oh, that's probably to me the best one of our R&B. So I'm just for R&B. I know Mills. If I hear one of the songs, I immediately anticipate the next song that's coming on, and I'll start doing intros or whatever that is. It's like one of those for me. But I liked it, but I didn't think it was Grammy. But I listen to Grammy music, and I like that.
You sounding real Optimus Prime's like right now. You sounding real robotic. I don't know what you did to move and start sounding like that. And you look like you on first 48 right now too. Your face is blurred out and you froze. But I will say this: Macklemore won an album for best rap album. So if he can win one, and I guarantee he only got an album better than The Last Meal or Rhythm and Gangster. I can tell you that for a fact. I don't have to listen to his album to prove it. But realistically, I'm just trying to think of like rap albums that actually won Grammys and like how many of them were outside of like the commercial success that the radio, that's on the radio or not. What else had like, which ones were actually good albums? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I have to look that up. Maybe we'll talk about that next time. If Devontae was here, he'd know.
So I got you. Here you go. Can you hear me now? Am I sounding like a?
You still sounding like a transformer, my guy.
Damn.
Still,
right.
I don't know what happened. You hit your Wi-Fi limit for the month?
Nah, bro.
Man, they just told me that because Sprint switched over to T-Mobile basically, and they just told me they're gonna say something. Yeah, you hit your 50 megabytes. Get ready to experience slower speeds. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't sign that deal. Like, I'm supposed to have unlimited everything, unlimited. They told me my stuff was about to slow down.
Yeah.
I can hear you still sound a little robotic though.
All right, well, Lil Wayne, Carter 3,
Carter 3 won a Grammy? See, I was never a Lil Wayne fan, so that's a.
Kanye won new with Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Graduation. Ludacris won for Release Therapy. Eminem won for
Ludacris won with Release Therapy?
Yeah.
Wow. Of all the albums he put out, that's the one he won a Grammy with.
Well, that's why I said because they'll like backdate you with some awards, in my opinion.
You sound like you in the drive-thru right now. Like you like I should be ordering something. I don't know what just happened with the like you went from perfect and out of nowhere you just started stuttering.
Yeah, I know, bro.
I have no idea what happened, but nah. Let me see this doggone Grammys. Rap Grammy winners. Rap Grammy winners. I'm mad Nas won last year because as much as they say he quote unquote deserved one, he didn't deserve that one. Let's see here. Diddy won one? Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Cardi B. So Naughty by Nature won. The Fugees won. Puff Daddy. Jay-Z. He didn't win. Did he win? I guess he did. He won for Hard Knock Life. Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, Stank on You. There you go. Now you're looking a little clearer. The Eminem Show, Speaker Box, Love Below, College Dropout, Late Registration, Release Therapy. He won that over Food and Liquor? Oh, they tripping. Ludacris won over Lupe Fiasco's first album. If that was a different Ludacris album, maybe. But that one? Oh, and he won over Pharrell in my mind. Yeah, I'm straight on that. Graduation, Carter 3. Carter, yeah, no, this is where the debate probably would start. With the other nominees, I'm not picking Carter 3 over those. Over 3 of the other 4 nominees, I'm not picking Carter 3. Yeah, the only one that I put Carter 3 over was that Nas album. But I'm not putting that over American Gangster. Probably tied with Paper Trail, and I'm not putting it over that other Lupe album.
Have you heard Carter 3?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. Have you heard The Cool?
Yeah.
Lupe Fiasco's The Cool?
Yeah.
Man, that is a piece of art. That is a true piece of art. Okay. So Eminem can win for Relapse. He definitely didn't have no real competition besides Q-Tip really in that one. And then Recovery. Dang, Eminem. Did every Eminem album win a Grammy? Recovery won over Thank Me Later. I don't even mess with Drake like that, but I feel like it shouldn't have won. And the Blueprint 3.
It came in 2013. Don't worry.
Yeah, he did. He did. Kanye beat himself in 2012. He won for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but he beat out Watch the Throne. Who else beat themselves at the Grammys? Kanye. All extra stuff aside, Kanye is a genius. Oh yeah. So this is what I was talking about. 2014, Macklemore. Macklemore won over Drake. Nothing Was the Same. Jay-Z's Magna Carta Holy Grail. Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. And he won over Kanye West, Yeezus. Macklemore, the thrift shop guy. That guy. He beat Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z and Drake and Kanye.
I mean, it's very hard to have a conversation without looking at the numbers as well. But I hear you.
Yeah. But see, I shouldn't have, because Chance the Rapper won over Major Key and Views and Life of Pablo. I was really never a Chance the Rapper guy. Honestly. I was never. You said what?
They like the Life of Pablo.
Yeah, I mess with that. But Chance the Rapper, I never got him. Like I never got the appeal of Chance the Rapper. Like why he was so popular and why everybody thought he's so sweet. I'm like, he don't got the best beats. He don't got the best bars, honestly. Like I never understood. He not whack. I just don't understand what everybody saw in him.
I think he's balanced. He can rap. He can harmonize a little bit. And I think he's playable. I think that helps just kind of get instant feel. And he's pretty creative. So, those are all marketable characteristics. And so, pretty hard to take shots at a balanced artist like that, I would say.
Got you. You still sound a little robotic, but I can at least make out what you're saying now.
All right, I'm gonna shut up then.
You said what?
I said I'm gonna shut up then.
Well, I need to talk to somebody, but nah. Nah. So, also in entertainment. I don't know if any of the people are watching have been paying attention to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the shows that they put on Disney Plus. However, they have 3 shows that are currently running on there. One is WandaVision, which is Scarlet Witch and Vision. Another one is not Captain America. It was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then there is another one that is going on right now that is currently in progress is Loki. But the one I'm talking about is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The star of the show, Anthony Mackie, who plays Falcon, and is also now the new Captain America. So there's a black Captain America now. And I love how the show actually tackled that. Like, a black man being Captain America and how a black man is going to be like the face of America on the show and in the movies now. I like how they didn't just let that go by the wayside and make everything seem like it was kumbaya. However, he is under fire right now because of some comments he made during an interview when asked if Falcon and his co-star of the show, the Winter Soldier, were in a relationship or could they be in a relationship. And Anthony Mackie responded, and I'm paraphrasing, he responded basically saying that just because two dudes are hanging out with each other does not mean that they're gay. Like they don't have to be gay in this day and age. In 2021, he feels like they're pushing homosexuality so much that two people can't even be in the same room together as friends without being depicted as gay. And I don't think that he should be getting the fire that he's getting right now. Why not? One, for multiple reasons. One, because I mean, I'm not gonna say I agree or disagree with what he said. I definitely do think, and I've seen it in multiple other interviews where there are people of the LGBTQ plus community who have also said the media is really trying to push an agenda for them right now. I do think that's the case. But my whole thing is, if you really want the representation of somebody who's like you on a TV show, we're at the point now where you can just make one. You know, like if people really read the comic books, because I'm a nerd in real life. If people really read the comic books, they would see that there are plenty of gay superheroes and supervillains. There are plenty of black superheroes, supervillains, where we don't have to change the story just so you can be represented. Like, just take the story of somebody else who was already written in that way and push for them to come out. At one point in the comic books, Colossus from X-Men was gay. Push for that story to get written. I'm being, like I said, I'm a nerd. So being that that's the case, there's a lot of situations where, they're talking about putting a black Superman, making a black Superman movie. There's plenty of other black characters. We don't need a black man to be Superman. There's a black Green Lantern. There's, freaking Icon. There's a bunch of different superheroes out there to where we don't have to keep changing stuff up just so we can be like, oh, we got representation now. There's been representation in the comic books. Y'all just want the popular people to look like you. And, if you actually read the comic books or watch a cartoon or something, you'll see that some of them non-popular people are actually better than the popular people. But what you think, Kev? Let's see if we can make out what you're saying.
I think I do agree with you. I think that while let me on one thing. You have an affinity, and what I think is a little bit like for a lot of comic books and kind of a lot of that literature, because you grew up on that, you love it, you know the stories, everything behind it. But for a lot of people in America, man, we don't have that same connection to it, and so it is really, really important to have representation in the forefront figures, the ones that people push in the media dollars behind, the ones that are in the stores and things, because that's their first introduction to the things you've been a fan of for multiple years. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there is room for that. And if I just wrote a story and made it something representative of me or my community or people like that, there's a lot like that. There's a lot of steps between that and getting in front of people, because you got to have a production company, media company, you got to have money, you got to be able to market it, you got to be able to hire all these. There's a lot of steps between that. And so I think there's a balance within it. I think you do want to respect the original intent, but I think that a lot of these storylines have been around 50, 60, 70 years. They had a lot of times to keep the same storyline going. I think it's okay to have some creativity to change it, to re-engage people.
Well, the same characters have been around, but they've had storylines, like they haven't just kept redoing the same. Superman hasn't been in the same situations over and over and over again. And they continuously are putting new characters in there. There's also more, and this has been coming to the forefront a little bit as of late. There's more comic books than just Marvel and DC that are actually doing that too. Like, The Walking Dead was technically a comic book. So anything you see on The Walking Dead, there's that. On Amazon Prime, there's The Boys. And there's also on Amazon Prime, what's it called? Invincible is a show that just came out. All great shows, all have the representation that everybody's talking about. But like I said, there are stories that if they were actually pushed, they wouldn't have to change the character themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather Black Panther than a Black Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like if Black Panther never came out, but I knew that there was a Black Panther, I would rather than make a movie about Black Panther than make Superman black. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have to. The story isn't for him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, they can change it up. And I get what you're saying, because whenever I talk about superhero movies that I don't like because it wasn't based on a comic book, but people who have no idea what the comic books was like and they watch it, was like, well, the movie was sweet to me. Like, I don't know much about it, so it was sweet to me. But it's like, knowing a lot of the source material, it's like, you got to, like you said, keep some of the original intent. There's certain other characters that you can throw in there, you know what I'm saying? Like they've done that before, where they throw characters who ain't got nothing to do with the storyline in there just because, but there's still a character that everybody knows from that particular series, and do what you want with them because they're not an essential character. You know what I'm saying? As far as the storyline goes, because once you do that, it kind of, to me, and this is just my opinion, once you change a key element of the person, it changes the whole story, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they decide to make Superman gay, there's no longer Lois Lane. You know what I'm saying? Who is Lois Lane? Just his friend that he shops with? You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally, it's not even at that point, it's not Superman anymore. It's a totally different person that they just decided they were going to make. You know what I'm saying? And Lois Lane is a huge part of the Superman story, or whatever the case may be. So like I said, I know there's a lot of people that don't read the comic books and don't know that there are plenty. Like they just said, Loki is gay, and realistically in the comic books he's a shapeshifter, so he's pleased himself as whatever he wanted to be. But if you read if they looked into the comic books, they see that there are other, or into the source materials, that they will see that there's other characters that were prominent characters in the series that can be pulled from the source material for the representation aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm okay with changing the stuff. I think that's one thing. I think for the lower line example, I know I've seen spin-offs of shows change characters, be situation sometimes, and it worked. And so, I'm okay with it. Like, now, the final product sucks. It sucks, and it shouldn't have been. But I think we have to take a risk in our arts to kind of evolve and keep going better. So I'm down for it.
Yeah. Well, so the other aspect of what he was saying too is, they've been saying, for a long time that, if you watch TV, it's like, oh, there's an agenda for the LGBTQ plus community. They're really trying to push it. And one of the things that he was saying was how he felt like it's to the point where you can't just be a man with another friend. Like, you can't just go to a bar with your boy and just be, drinking with your boy, or without being looked at as potentially or possibly being gay. He's saying that that narrative is getting overran, or is overrunning society at this point. What do you think about that aspect of what he said?
Well, I think there should be pushed from a lot of people, and so I definitely support that. I think that when I think of it, man, a lot of friends, if I go out when the guys like that and I have a good time, I'm my friends, I kind of do whatever. I don't really care what people say and think, but other people may kind of think what they think or whatever. And I learned that, I'm walking in places, don't sit, everybody's going to see what I'm doing, what I'm looking at, and kind of stuff things. And so, but also, I go in the same places with a woman. People may kind of have thoughts and feelings around that. I think the part of it is people kind of being kind of doing it intentionally. I think that's really the percent that I want to have. But I think like pushing the narrative and really talking about things that I think that's needed in the dark, and that's how people open up their minds or are more close. I think the easy thing is I think it's unfortunate, but I do think that should have conversations with people in the community that really understand what they think, what triggers them, kind of have that backlash. Well, I don't know if I fully understand what it is, but I think he could conversation. He's a pretty well-known person, it sounds like. But Instagram Live, bring a few people and have a conversation about it. I kind of get that because a lot of times we can misinterpret what people are saying based on or based on the media that sends it to the headlines. But I would encourage him or anyone, ally, or anyone in the community to have a conversation. Let's chop it up and really see on the things you
said. I made out the very last thing you said. Everything else was every so often you was turning into a robot again. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi today. But I don't know. Maybe you need to put another quarter aside the Wi-Fi dispenser.
We got over here. What you mean?
You that is 100% correct. And I think I am going to bring somebody from that community onto the show sometime in the future so we can have a conversation. I think I have a few people in mind in the future. But we are approaching an hour. And you looking and sounding like you on the first 48 snitching. So we gonna I think we're gonna wrap it up, man. If there's anything, I'm gonna do my sign off because I don't think they can understand what you're saying. So if there's anything you want me to say, go ahead and put it in the chat so that I can read it off for them. But yeah. Thank y'all for watching, tuning in. If you guys are not following me on social medias already, on the other social medias already, hit me up at the Jason Experience. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you're probably already watching it right here. You're probably already watching it. I'm the Jason Experience on Instagram and on the TikToks also. So Kev said peace and love. Rev Run said peace and love. It's a quote, peace and love. You can find Kev BJ at Hercules Jackson on Instagram. It's not the same on Facebook, right? It's something else on Facebook. I can't remember. But Hercules Jackson on Instagram. Maybe he don't want y'all to know where he's at on Facebook. So but yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. That's _KFB_ on Twitter also. So yeah, thank all y'all for tuning in, and y'all have a awesome evening. At some point during this week, I would assume that you guys are going to be able to hear this voice and this podcast on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. When? I'm not 100% sure because I uploaded it like Saturday and it's still not ready to be released. So just go ahead and it says it's released, but go ahead and keep on checking when you can, and just check the Jason Jamerson podcast on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. But till next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.